How's it going, you lot? Eh? How's it going? Don't know what that was meant to be an impression of. Probably the troll underneath the bridge. Anyway, look at this. This is a Kyosho P10 A. P10 Alpha. Don't know anything about it at all. Not the foggiest about it. The only thing I do know, somebody's put a roto start on it and you can't get to it because the nitro tank's in the way. So I have got the Pullstart that was on it, and when I got the Pullstart, the spring was out of it. It was inside an envelope. There's the envelope that it was in, and yeah, it was in bits. So I've just wound it up. Well, I wound it up yesterday, and then I was going to mend this yesterday, but then I can't be bothered with that, so I didn't do it. But let's do it now, shall we? I think we shall. Yes, thank you. You're welcome. No problem. No problem at all. Anytime. So let's put this on and see if the engine's going to run. And if the engine runs, if it doesn't, I've got a spare one. I've got a spare one. If that engine doesn't run particularly well, I've got a spare one. It's got no glow plug in it. It's got no carburetor. It's got no Pullstart, but we can put one of them on. Look, I've got one here. There it goes. It's got no clutch and stuff, but I reckon this might be a good... I don't know why it was taken apart in the first place. Perhaps it's got no compression, perhaps there's an issue with it, I don't know. But it's a spare engine that we can nick parts from. Right, my engine shelf is falling apart, as we can see, but I'm going to leave it there and not touch it for the rest of time. Let's put this together and see if we can make it run, shall we? Yes. Right. Most of the engine shelf just come crashing down. It was one after the other. I couldn't do anything about it, so I just kind of had to let it happen and then pick up the aftermath. Anyway, have a look and see what we've got here. So we'll see what happened when I unboxed this a few years ago. And the roto start there, you can't get to it because the nitro tank is in the way. There's the roto start, there it is, and you can't get to it at all. There's no way you can get the thing on there because the tank's in the way. You'd have to unscrew the tank, put the roto start on, start the engine, screw the tank back down again. That's no good, we can't be having that. So let's take the engine out by 3 screws. It's interesting because on these old Kyoshos, I mean, I've got one of these that I had from brand spankery news, and I did the magazine. I still must get all the magazines out. I promised it ages ago. They're in the loft. Every time I go in the loft, I nearly die. So I need to wait for the temperature of the weld to decrease slightly, and then I can go up in the loft and not die. And then I can get together all the magazines because they're scattered around. Because I did have them in boxes, but over the last 16, 17 years... we've all been up there and got stuff, and the missus is particularly bad for it. She just rummages, puts stuff, throws stuff everywhere, and then leaves it. So everything's not where it used to be. I've got magazine, I've got Dirt Bike Rider magazines. Those of you that are old school probably know about Dirt Bike Rider. And if you see me in Dirt Bike Rider when I was a kid, then, well done. And I've got all kinds of magazines and things, and yeah, just stuff all over the place. So I need to go up there and have a sort out. What on earth? I mean, bloody blimey, we're being attacked by exhausts now. Yeah, so I need to go up there and have a bit of a sort out. Oh my giddy aunt, I don't know what I'm going to do with all these bloody things. I need to, what I need a bigger home. That's what I need. Too much stuff. In fact, I ain't even got too much stuff. I've just got a normal amount of stuff, but it's just too much everything else. Right. Let's take off the throttle. We need to take that off because otherwise we're going to have a bit of a problem. And that's... oh, it's a tiny little screw, isn't it? Yes, it's a very small screw, so we can use this very small, tiny driver for screwing. And anti-screw this throttle linkage. There we go, that's off. Now the only things holding it on are these fuel pipes. There we go. So now we've got the engine out. Is the engine out or is the engine off? I don't know. You tell me. It's not actually in any hole, is it? Like in a real car where the engine's under the bonnet in a hole, then the engine comes out. But on a Nitro car, the engine's just there. You know, so is it off or is it out? You tell me. You tell me. Comment and tell me. Is the engine out or is it off? Do you get in bed or do you get on bed? I don't know. I suppose it depends whether you're getting under the covers or not under the covers. I suppose that's what that depends on, doesn't it? But anyway, that's not the right one. Let's take this. This roto start isn't the correct roto start that would fit on this anyway, because I don't think, well, I don't think they made roto starts for these full stop. However, there are universal roto starts, which is what this probably is, which fits on the variation of different engines. You can get specific roto starts for specific engines, or you can get universal ones, such as Fast Tracks ones and probably other brands of universal roto started use. I don't really care what this one is, if I'm honest, because it's coming off, and I'm going to put this Pullstart on, which I've freshly rewound, and it's not the best because I rewound it, but hopefully it is okay. There's the gearages, there's the back plate, so we can put all that back together in a minute. That shouldn't really come out of there, to be fair. I don't know, it's obviously broken or something or another. Anyway, so there we go, one-way bearing. While we're here, let's make sure that these are tight, which they weren't, so we'll just tighten those up a lot, and that's cock. There we go. And nice and tight now, one-way bearing. Hopefully this one-way bearing is the right size for this Pullstart. Well, that's just typical, isn't it? That is just absolutely... Of course it needs a one-way bearing which is 6 million feet wide, because this is an old school Kyosho. Things were different back then. Very different back then. So that is far too small. So I need to go and have a look around in the one-way bearing box. I'm just having a look on the shelf here. I think I put them all away. I put them all in different places. Right, bear with me. I don't need that, but I was going to use that the other day and I couldn't find it. Right, let me go and see if I can find a one-way bearing that fits. Well, looking in I've looked in all the toolboxes, and this is my little bearing tub. They're all the same size, so none of them are... I'm sure I have got one somewhere. There is one somewhere, I'm sure there is, because I've seen it. I think it come off that OS 30 VG engine, which is on the shelf there, and I've checked that, and it's not on it. And I thought I've definitely got one, but I can't find it anywhere. And the other option that I've got is to take the Pullstart on the bearing off of my other P10 GX12, but I don't really want to do that. I absolutely hate taking my good working cars apart just trying to get another car working. It's just something that I don't do. I know a lot of you don't mind, you just take parts off cars, take cars apart, do whatever to get to whatever you need to get to, but I just hate it. Absolutely hate it. Oh, there's some good bells in there. Didn't even know I had them. Right, I've got one more toolbox I can go and check in to see if I've got one that'll fit. Back in a jiffy. Right, let me make this extremely clear. The only reason that I've just gone and taken this one-way bearing, which you can see is subsequently larger than an ordinary one, because this is old school Kyosho. The only reason I've taken it off of my own good working P10 for now, which I hate doing, and I know, as I've said, for some of you lot, it's something simple. You just go and borrow a part, see if it works, put it back. I don't like doing it. I don't like taking cars apart unless I really have to. I've only done it for you, alright? I'm making that clear now. Done it for you, so that you can see whether this runs. Because if this was just me on my own and you weren't here watching, you weren't here joining me, I would have got to this point. Oh, the one where bearing don't fit, I haven't got one. Oh well. And I would have put it all together again and put it on the shelf until I can go and get a bearing, probably in a few weeks' time. But for you, because you all want to see this, hopefully that's going to go back in a bit better. I've gone and nicked the bearing, completely at protest, I must add. Alright, let's put this on. Let's do this up. Now, what I love about these old school Kyoshos is they use a lot of Phillips screws and stuff, and I quite like that. I do like that. I mean, it makes it feel legitimate, do you know what I mean? All modern day these days are using what these are now, which is Allen screws, Allen bolts, but the old Phillips crosshead screw is yeah, that's a sign, and I love that. When I just took this Pullstart off of my other one, it had the original screws in it, because I think I only run that car probably 2, maybe 3 times before I stripped out the rear diff on it. And after that it went under the bed for another probably 20 years. And that was that. If it was falling out, I have to take that out completely, because that's not going to be any good. It's all perished and gone. Funny. Now let's make sure this is okay before we put the engine in and find out the Pullstart's not going to rewind itself. So here we go. Oh, that's alright. Oh yeah, that works alright. It don't go all the way, and I'll have to work on that. The spring was well, there's nothing wrong. I was going to blame the spring. There's nothing wrong with the spring. It's me that's the problem. I just didn't wind it properly. I've done it probably 2.5 times, and I thought to myself, oh, I'm just going to get this spring in there and have it how it is. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could put a longer piece of pipe on there. It's got like a little bit of rubber here, isn't it? I could undo that knot, take the handle off, put a longer piece of pipe on so it just stays like that all the time. Then it doesn't matter that it doesn't wind in all the way. But we'll worry about that another year. That'll be a job for the year 2037. So we'll put these screws in and see where we get. This is exciting. Very, very exciting. Very exciting. Why is that? There we go. Now my screwdriver is over there on the other bench now. Oh. And I've just gone and bloody dropped it. So let's do this one up. Place your bets now. Place your bets. Is it going to run? Is it going to run easily? Is it going to put up a fight? Now, knowing these GX12 engines, very nice engine, very strong engines. You know, you can abuse them a lot, and they will last a long time. But obviously they will wear out, and I have no idea how often this one's been used. Don't know how it was ran in, don't know anything about it. The mesh is a bit tight, but I don't care about the mesh because I'm going to be taking it out again after I've started it up, because I put that bearing back on my other engine. So I can probably just hold the throttle for now. I'm not going to bother connecting that to the horns. That's our pressure pipe. That's our carburation pipe. The carburation pipe is extremely important. Right, let's get, this is, oh, there's nothing in it. Alright, I was going to put some fuel in there for them, but there's nothing in it. So, what I'll do, I'll go over here. Bit of, this is actual 25%. This isn't a mixture. Usually, when I do these Will It Run little videos here, I have this tub, this bottle rather, just fill up with old fuel that I suck out of various cars. It's a mixture of 12, 16, 20, 25, bit of 30 in there. Different brands, Shoot, OptiFuel, Model Technic, all different brands. It just goes in here, and I use it to get cars running with, because there's no reason why you can't, and it works perfectly well. But I've run out. So we're going to use actual 25%. This is proper fuel, not mixed up. It's just actual proper fuel, 25%. And yes, the geeks among you will probably say 25% is a bit too strong for that little GX12 engine. Really, you want to be running it on 16%. I don't give an uncle's monkey what you want to be running it on. It will run on what I tell it to run on, which in this case is 25%. Prime it up. Oh, it primed. It primed all right. Get ready to hold on to that throttle. And here we go. Could be a case of it didn't prime as well as I thought. So let's put a little bit down the neck and see what happens. Whoa! Far too much. Perfect. Now we've opened it up. Let's see what happens now. Oh, it runs. Maybe that glow plug is a bit dicky, but it does need to warm up. So it doesn't really do a lot when I open up the throttle. But it could be full of oil, it could be full of anything. It sounds like it's trying to rev, but it just can't make it. It could be very, very rich. I might have to turn that needle a little bit. Pullstart went in. Here we go. Sounds good with that exhaust on, doesn't it? That's not proper exhaust for it. That's a different one someone's put on. I bet that manifold's doing it the world of good. Trying to adjust that tick over. You probably can't see because you're far too far away. Probably could zoom you in if I wanted to, but I just haven't, have I? No. The tick over is far too low. There's no gap on that butterfly throttle whatsoever. So just turning that screw in a little bit, and now we got somewhat of a gap. Probably too much, and it was far too rich. If you noticed, I turned that high-speed needle in probably, I don't know what it was, I didn't really count, I just turned it in until it sounded a bit better. Probably about 2 turns perhaps. And it actually started to run a lot better, so it was extremely rich. Why isn't that working now? There we go. Actually runs really, really well. I think the problem with the ticking over is it needs a good rev, it needs a good clear out, and I think it'll run really well after that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bearing, because it's just the way that I am, I like things to be how they are. That bearing from my one is going to go back in my one, and I'll get on to a shop. If they've got one of these in stock, I'll go and get it, and then this, all it needs is the bearing then. I'm not worried about the flappy Pullstart. I'll sort that out when I take it off to do the bearing later on. Might just probably put a bit of longer tube on it so I don't have to mess around with that spring anymore. Happy days. Well, will it run? Yes, it will. It'll run, and it'll run jolly well. Happy days, couldn't be better than that. So there we go. Well, this is just going to be a short one really, because I was going to have a look at the servos and that, but I haven't got any spare radio gear that I want to be playing with. I've got spare radio gear, but I just don't want to play with it, to be fair. So I'll put a fly sky in it later on, and we'll have a look at the servos, and then we'll go and give it a test drive. But the fact of the matter is, that engine runs, and it runs quite well, so very, very nice. If you like that sort of thing, do you know what? It's been quite some time since since I managed to get hold of a car. Back in the day, I mean, not only sort of 3, 4, 5 years ago, I was regularly being able to get cars that were corroded, sitting in sheds for years, lofts and all sorts. They're just not about anymore. I don't know about you, if you know where there's some. If you've got a Nitro car or a petrol RC car, also accepting petrol ones, as long as they're at a reasonable price for non-running. I want ones, I don't want proper old ones that I can't get bloody parts for, but I want ones that have been sitting in sheds, seized engines, you know, actual challenges to get going. Contact me. You can email me. The email address will be in the description or in the about thing of this channel, and tell me what you want, and we'll work something out, because I want a proper challenge. You can't get them anymore. The ones that do come up on eBay and other places, they want the price of a fully working car for this one that's been in a shed and is probably seized up. I'm not paying that, even though I will be able to get it running. I ain't paying full prices for a car which has been in a shed and is probably all corroded and stuff. But this one was very easy to get going. Hopefully, I mean, it looks like all the four-wheel drive and all that kind of works, so I reckon we'll be okay with that. And we're going to give it a test drive. I'll get a new foam for the filter. We'll stick a fly sky in it and a battery. I haven't got a spare battery at the moment either, so happy days. Nice one. Thanks for watching, you lot. Don't forget, if you want to win a voucher for a model shop of your choice, all you got to do is enter that competition. There's a link down there. Enter that, and you could either win a £10 voucher, which is guaranteed to be £10, second and third prize. First prize could be any value, up to 200 quid. Could be anything. Could be 50 quid, could be 100 quid, could be 200 quid. Could be anything, depending how many tickets are sold. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning that, a model shop of your choice. Answer RC, Wheel Spin Models, Model Sport, Active Scale, Model Tune, A-Main Hobbies. I can't think of any more. As long as they sell gift vouchers, you can pick it. I'll catch you later on. Thanks for watching. Take care. Kyosho.